G'day guys and welcome back. What a beautiful day it is in Melbourne. It's Tuesday, February 10th and it is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it is a ripper day. It's beautiful blue skies, bit of a breeze, and I'm out at the Point Cook RAAF Base. And our local residents here in Werribee, Point Cook, Hoppers Crossing have got a bit of a fight because the government is going to sell this RAAF base. And this RAAF base carries a lot of history in Australian Air Force. Now, RAAF stands for Royal Australian Air Force for those internationally. And this particular Air Force base has been operating since 1913. And it is the longest running, there's a plane taking off now, it's the longest operating military base in the world. So it carries a lot of heritage. And our beautiful government have decided they want to sell 67 military bases around Australia. Now, not all of them are going to have heritage history like this one does, but this one here is close to home because the area behind me is Point Cook. Now, I've done a couple of vlogs around Point Cook, the town, and it's pretty much landlocked because it's only 3 ways to get into the area and 3 ways to get out. And what the government says is, well, we can fit 7,000 houses here. And the problem is there's no infrastructure for 7,000 houses. There's just not. To get in out of Point Cook any day of the week is really, really a traffic jam. They don't have the resources in the area. And I've had several meetings over the last couple of days with prominent people working out our strategy to make sure this particular piece of land is not sold, primarily because of its heritage listing. The RAAF Air Museum is here at Point Cook as well. And something a little close to home for me is my grandfather, William Ryan, Warrant Officer William Ryan, MBE. So he was actually got an MBE from the King, who was the Queen's father. And he was the first aerial photographer. And he actually invented cameras for taking photos from plane to plane, plane to ground. And I'll put some of those photos up. I've shared a couple over the last couple of days. Because my grandfather was a photographer, I have a lot of photos. And I particularly have a lot of photos of Point Cook, particularly in its early days where there was nothing here. It was just the start of Air Force. The first flight, oh, there's a plane coming in there. The first flight here at Point Cook was on the 1st of March, 1914. And so the RAAF started in Australia in 1914. So we have a bit of a fight on our hand here because we don't want this sold. We see this as an important part of our history. And on the other side of the coin is they sell it and put 7,000 houses. The area can't cope at all. A long time ago, I was for 2-3 years, I think maybe 3 years, I and my best friend Wayne were the scout leaders on the base here. There was the first Point Cook Scout Group, and I was a scout leader here on the base. So I spent a lot of time on the base, and I find it really sad that something as important as this for Australia is even half considered to be something to be sold for money. I know the government's broke. I know Victorian government's broke. This is actually a Commonwealth thing, so this is the Australian government land. Well, they'll transfer it into state government and state government will just wreck it as they always do. So I thought I'd share this with you on my daily because it is something close to my heart and something that will be an ongoing thing to preserve our history, to preserve our heritage. And we're going to start by doing a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going in the background. There's the entry there, which I've been in and out of hundreds of times back in the day when I was here on the base. But my grandfather and my dad was in the RAAF too. He worked out here, but more my grandfather, 100%. All right, let's go have a look at something else. I thought I'd bring you out to what we call Campbells Cove. And we're out in the green belt, out in the market gardens. But behind me is a very special place. It's been here a heck of a long time. We're just, I guess, west of Point Cook RAAF Base, which I was just talking about. And I thought I'll just give you a look at something that's been here a long time. Along the beach here, this is Campbell's Cove, and along the beach here there's lots of little beach huts, and people have made them little holiday huts, fishing huts. And a long time ago, my dad had one down here. I think he sold it about when I was born, so I never actually got to look at it. I remember he pointed it out to me when we used to come down here, because he used to love fishing. I'm stepping over rocks, so it's not like your normal beach, but you can see we're right down on the beach. You won't pick it up in the camera, I think, but there's a cruise ship leaving Melbourne out there. I can see the white of the ship. I won't go all the way along here, but I just want to give you the gist of it. So they're all locked up. They put roller doors on the front of them these days to make sure it's all secure. But these will be little holiday places. They'll pull their chairs out. I noticed on the roofs they've all got solar panels everywhere. This is Campbells Cove. So I showed you the little, I think I did the bathing boxes over at Chelsea, one of my first vlogs, for one of our viewers, Deb. She was keen to see them to reminisce. And remember also, I've mentioned before, if there's anything you want to see, I'll try and find it and show you, particularly if you're international, you want to see some of Australia. This is a railway line they've used probably to run a boat track down. It might have been a boat ramp or something. You can see the concrete there from it. The seagull over there. But these have been here a long time, so I hazard a guess 70, 80 years, maybe more. There's number 20 there. They've made little water breaks here, probably to protect whatever sand there is. I'm going to take you up in a minute and I'll drive down the other end, because it's a fair way down. And from the other end, I should be able to show you some of the old buildings of the Cook RAAF Base, which are the original hangars, the original 1914 infrastructure of Cook RAAF Base. So a lot of these places in their past, they would have housed a boat. I know my dad, when my dad had one, was fishing gear, and they housed the boat inside. You can see that one there, they've set it up. They probably pull out their deck chairs and just enjoy the serenity. There's a couple of ships out there, cargo ships out there. Once again, as I mentioned on most of the vlogs, we're on Port Phillip Bay. So this bay, the city of Melbourne is on, Geelong, which you've seen. They're all on this bay. So I had to climb down the boat ramp. I might cruise through here, go and find my car again. But I thought, gee, it's just another place that needs a little bit of documenting. I'll go up here. I'm like a mountain goat. So I'll go out here. There used to be up the other end where we're going to go now. There used to be a nudist beach, and I'd never really come down during that period, but apparently the people that get down in the bushes there and do all sorts of naughty things. And this is relatively close to Melbourne, so alright, we're back up the Market Gardens, and my car is gone. Where is my car? Didn't think I'd come down this far, but I probably did. So I've got seedlings planted there in the paddock. The sun's high. It's comfortable here. It's not cold. It's definitely not hot, but it's comfortable. I'm in a t-shirt. I had a 3-hour meeting today, and it was good. It was good catching up with these people, prominent Werribeites. It's good to be involved in your community, you know, especially when you're like third generation, which I am in Werribee. And both my grandfather, my dad's parents and my mum's parents were Werribee identities, so you kind of naturally be involved. Oh, there's my car. All right, let's go next spot. All right, I'm far down the other end now, past the huts, and I'm towards the Point Cook. I think this area here is where the nudist. There's a really big bird, and I don't know whether he'll fly towards me or whether the camera will even pick him up. He's coming towards me. I reckon he might be similar to the bird we saw out at Point Cook Homestead, because we're not far from there. Might be the same guy coming to visit me. Can you pick him up? He's gliding away. Beautiful. Yeah, big wings, look at that. I remember we were up in the outback of Australia many years ago, and we travelled across from Townsville to Longreach, where the Qantas Museum is, and we went across to Longreach because there's a great big jumbo jet sitting in the museum up there, and not often you get to walk through a jumbo jet unless you're flying, and if you're flying you don't really get it's over where you can go. So I remember we were driving along this dirt road. It was hundreds of kilometres of dirt road, and we could see something in the middle of the road, and it stood like a person in the middle of the road. And as we got closer, it was this massive big eagle sitting on the carcass of some roadkill. And yeah, it was a big bird. And as we got closer, I think I've got pictures and even videos somewhere, but it'll be in portrait. But the old eagle, he swooped off. He took a few seconds just to get that momentum as those big wings spread and started to take off the carcass of the roadkill. So there's a big fence here, so we're right on the edge of the RAAF base. I might be able to go through this via the beach, we'll see. So it's just a little inlet here with some water flowing in and out. We'll see if I can go across. Otherwise I'm probably about as close as I'm going to get. I'm not sure whether I can cross that. It's got a bit of a runoff there. Where's the best place to cross without falling in? Alright, we'll get this on camera. This might go viral. Me getting totally wet and stupid. Jeez, can I do this? Oh, I went down, but I got across. Now I have to do that on the way back. Oh, things you do, hey? Things you do. Stack of birds there. I think it's still going. At least I did that without wet feet and without the balance of a hand because I'm holding the camera. Things you do, hey? Things you do. Alright, so I'm on the outer edge of the RAAF base here. They might have a giant drone come over and go, "What are you doing? You can't film here." And they're probably right. But I'm still on Crown land at the moment. Now, is the camera still filming where I wanted to film? I should be looking, shouldn't I? So this end here, this is the original 1914 RAAF base up this end. So the museum and the other bits and pieces are further over. Now, can I hold this up a bit? I don't know. Probably not. But if you guys, I can't see the screen, but through there, now can I do this somehow? Go there. I get rid of one lot of this double wire here. But the old pier, and I've got photos, I'll see if I can dig out a photo and show you guys. But the old Point Cook pier is there, and I've got photos of lots of biplanes lined up along the pier, and the buildings you can see there are the old hangars. So you can't really see much, but I'll show you some photos of what it looked like back in the day, because I have got some really old photos. Now I'll go back here and see see if I can not get wet. Jump in this creek. So this vlog's a little bit different. I don't know whether you call it controversial, because it's just locals being a bit passionate about saving something that's important for community. And for me, community is really important. part of the reason I left my club the other night in the middle of the meeting. I walked out because it's not community, it's not fun, it's not friendship, and it's not family, and it's dishonest. So I walked out of that meeting. So just to give you a little update, I've started a new club with lots of really, really nice people that we all enjoy each other's company, and I'm looking forward to taking you guys on some journeys with us where we go up in the Victorian high country. Am I going to get across this creek? Oh my god. I was thinking it might be down on the beach part, it might thin out a bit, but it kind of hasn't. I'll figure it out in a minute. I'll go back where I crossed. It's about as narrow as it's going to be. So yeah, so I've started a new club, and there's been a squeam people from the old club come across because they want fun, friendship, they want mateship, not politics and all the crap that's going on over there. Very disappointing for me because I've invested a lifetime in that club. So there's my falling over footsteps there. Right, I'm going to try and do this again. Oh my god, here we go again. Because you got to remember, I'm not a young bloke anymore. Far out. Oh no, I just lost half of my runway, just fell in. No, that might be a good idea actually. I did it, yay! Big round of applause. Mention in the comments I managed to cross the creek without getting soaking. Happy days. Happy days. Alright, I'm going to walk back to my car, and I've got this Sunday I've got a show I'm doing. I've taken a stand 9 metres by 9 metres, and I'll have camper trailers and all different products on the stand, so you'll get another level of what I do work wise. So it's called the Victorian 4x4 show, and so I'll be there for that. Should be interesting, good for you guys to see different elements of me. And I want you guys, I mean, what are we, 35? I think today's 35 days we've done the vlog, and that's a fair effort, I reckon, 35 days. And you guys would be getting an idea of who I am just through my chitter chatter. Alright, well, I might take you down, have a look at a few more of these houses. I was just chatting to a lady, they're walking their dog, and they said they saw my camera. They said, "Oh, is that a drone?" I said, no, it's a camera, I'm doing a YouTube video. And they got talking, and I said, "Oh, what's your video on about?" I said, "Well, I do a daily thing and just show stuff that's going on around my world." And I said, "We're trying to save the Cook RAAF Base." And talk about passion. She goes, "How do we save it? How do we save it? None of us want it gone." Really, really nice. So I thought I'd just come around the front here because it's all nicely cut. Probably a bit of sun glare, but you'll get the gist of it. It's very nice out here. So the houses go right around that point there. Right around. Lots of bird life out there on the little island. I can see some swans. I can't see any pelicans. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swans. Very cool. Well, I'll make my way out of here, and I thought I'll just show you from the back. I'm driving, obviously. There's a couple of cars, but not many people sort of taking advantage of their huts. There is a couple for sale. The lady I spoke to, I just mentioned, she said the huts are all hers when there's no one here. They like to just enjoy the beach and going out. It's a car coming, so I'll let them go through. There's a dump point there, so if you've got a caravan or camp, you need to get rid of your dumps, you can do that. And I'll keep rocking on. Interesting, everyone kind of gives you a wave along here, which is nice. It's that community sort of thing. But I'd say most of the huts are run on battery. I can see lots of solar. There's a boat there in front of that one there. That's kind of cool. I don't remember now which one my dad had. It was one close to the front, I think, from memory. It's been nice being out here. I haven't been out here for a long time. And as you can see, it's not far from Point Cook RAAF Base. Not really that far. It's probably 15 minutes from home. But it's a good drive, no hassle. Yeah, my dad had one of these. But I don't know which one now. I was little. I remember him pointing it out. So on the other side of the bay, if we continued down following this road, we'd end up in Geelong. You can see the Wyndham Harbour distance there. Well, I'm gonna turn this off. I reckon that's a little bit of history, something different again, and I hope you're liking it. Don't forget to do a comment and a like. It helps the algorithms, and I really appreciate it. So this is Trev jumping onto Cunningham's Road. It's a full drive there. There's a property there for sale. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad out here, I reckon. All right, so I'd like to say thanks, everyone. And as Adam the Woo would say, the vlog is over. See you guys tomorrow. Bye, y'all.